Hi, I am Vasily of CMK Selections, and I am in the company of Luca Follador. We came in his winery to meet him in Valdobbiadene, in the village of Il Follo, and he will explain us what he's doing, how he produces the Prosecco, the only wine that this area is producing, and the most important, and a small part of the history of his family and his winery. Hi, Luca.
Hi Vas,
Tell us.
welcome first of all, welcome to Il Follo. Il Follo is a village close to Valdobbiadene, 4 or 5 kilometers from Valdobbiadene, and I'm the owner of the cellar, and I'm the third generation uh, who works on this activity. The starter was my grandfather during the 60s, and then my father, and then me. We have about 10 hectares of vineyard. We produce around 200,000, 250 of bottles, and
Of a few different labels that you differentiate in.
yes. First of all, we produce only Prosecco.
Yes.
Prosecco of Valdobbiadene, and we have different label. The first division is the top quality, so Villa Luisa, and then the other three products, they are named DOC and not DOCG. The version Brut Extra Dry and Rosé.
Excellent. Luca, not everybody knows how the Prosecco is made. Everybody knows eventually that it makes two fermentations, but can you talk us a little bit more about the details of the vinification?
Sì, the sparkling wine can made by two methods. The second fermentation on the tank and second fermentation in the bottle. Prosecco, the second fermentation is in the tank, and it's called metodo Charmat Martinotti. Second fermentation in the tank, with the second fermentation in the tank, we work with aroma, the primary and secondary aroma. And so the second fermentation in the bottle is completely another world. It's always a fermentation, but the long stay on the yeast and the reduction created inside the bottle change the characteristic of the final product. We know that after a lot of tests, the best way for Prosecco is using tank and not the second fermentation.
Yes, because we were talking about the yeast. So, how do you provoke the second fermentation? How is that the wine?
Second fermentation is a classical liqueur de tirage. Liqueur de tirage means sugar, yeast, and yeast. First of all, and the yeast eat the sugar and produce CO2 and alcohol. It's very simple.
Yes, you keep the CO2 in the wine, so the wine comes out sparkling.
Yes, the tank is a pressure tank. Obviously, we have no strip out of CO2, but CO2 incorporated inside the wine.
Exactly.
And becomes sparkling.
I see that it has a wonderful fine perlage. Which is the secret? How do you arrive there?
Yes, the secret of fine perlage is a very slow fermentation. Very slow fermentation means between 16 and 18 degrees on the tank. The tank are the temperature controlled. But Prosecco, in particular Galera grapes that grow up in the Valdobbiadene area, is a natural producer of fine bubble. You can do it, it's very hard to find a Prosecco with not fine bubble.
Yes.
But it's very simple find a big bubble in other kind of sparkling wine.
Yeah. And I'm sure that the time that you invest to make your fermentation, it is important because if you make fast fermentation in 1 week, probably you risk to have the big bubbles.
Not for Prosecco in reality, but you risk to burn the fine aromas of the wine. A slow fermentation, not very slow. It's between 16 and 18 degrees is not a very slow fermentation. Very slow fermentation you can obtain under 15 degrees. But for Prosecco, the best is between 16 and 18. Between 16 and 18, because you have the right temperature for production of secondary and primary aromas.
And how long does it go on?
Generally, in 13 days, we close the.
You stop the fermentation.
Yes, fermentation finished. Consider the second fermentation produce 1 or 1.5 alcohol degrees.
Luca, thank you so much. It is a wonderful experience. Your wines are wonderful and I enjoy it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.